Good morning,
All
from
right, so go ahead, Smoke. I'll let you introduce. Hi, good morning. We are here again at the Sedgwick County Zoo. We're over here in the Learning Lodge with the elephants, and I'm here to introduce you to Jen and Sarah, and they're going to talk to you more about elephants and all the fun stuff about them.
From 12 all the way up to 52. So our oldest elephant here is Steph, and she's tied for the third oldest African elephant in North America currently. So she's doing really, really well. The average life expectancy is about 38, 39 for African elephants. So we're really, really lucky to have her, and she's doing really well. The only problem she has are her teeth, and Sarah can talk about some of her teeth.
So elephants go through 6 sets of teeth in a lifetime, whereas we go through 2, so that's quite a bit. They only have actually 4 teeth total, and they're very big. They're about the size of a red brick when they get to like more of an adult size. Stephanie lost her last set a while ago, about 2012. She started losing them. So we have to go in and actually clean them out manually. So we go in and clean out those holes that he tends to kind of chew and get stuff stuck in. And so she gets shredded hay to help her chew up that stuff, and as well as other extra goodies since she can't quite get all of the nutrients she needs since she can't chew very well. So she gets extra stuff to help get those minerals and vitamins and stuff like that. Anything else?
Cleaning. I heard that you guys maybe want to talk about some cleaning. So we clean a lot. We got a lot of elephants, a lot of cleaning, a lot of poop. So we have weighed some of our fecal, and it's about 60 pounds per poop. And then, we have 8 elephants, so it's a 24-hour period. We're cleaning up a lot. It's real heavy. So we go through multiple ATV trailers a day of fecal, and then really big trailers, almost like semi-trailers of fecal, like sometimes twice a week we're going through. So lots of hard work here, lots of cleaning to take care of these guys. Their diets. Yeah, their diet. So in the wild, these guys would be eating trees. So they would be using their trunks, reaching up as far as they can, ripping down the branches and eating the leafy greens or the bark off of the trees. So if you've ever been to our zoo and you see these giant browse piles, that is what we are giving to them. And we work with local tree trimming companies to be able to have that for our elephants to be able to eat. Obviously, we can't do that as much here. We work with those tree trimming companies as much as we can to get those browse. And it's not a 365-day all-year thing. So we do have to supplement, like Sarah was saying, with hay. So Steph gets shredded hay, and then whoever's not with Steph can just get our regular flaked hay. And we do a brome hay and a prairie hay mix.
Yeah. So, and another thing to add to that, so that since they eat the bark and trees, African elephants, both males and females, have tusks. We do have a tuskless elephant, so she gets creative when she's trying to get bark off of logs and stuff. But they will use those tusks to get that bark peeled off and eat it.
We have one playing with a ball over here.
So you can, I don't know if you can see, but Arusi is our tuskless elephant. So she gets creative since she doesn't have those tusks to peel off that bark. She will use her feet, or she will tend to steal little scraps that others are using to eat.
And you said ball, so we do give them what we call enrichment. So it's things that are going to break up their day. It's going to work their brain, kind of like our version of puzzles. And then we put food in there so they're motivated to try to figure out the puzzle. The best way we describe it is if you have a dog or a cat and you have like a Kong toy, you might fill it with lots of kibble or lots of food or other treats like that, put peanut butter on it maybe. And it really makes your animals work hard and really use their brain to try to figure out how to get the goodies out that they would like to get out. So we have balls that we use. We also have what we call nose-its. So those are in our hay boxes, and they have to rotate it around, and there's only one hole that they have to get the food out. I think that's a lot of our stuff. Does anybody maybe have questions? Oh, yes, sorry. We had a question from the audience here. How did they get here? So Stephanie has been here her entire life. She came over when she was estimated about 2 years old in 1972. So a very long time that Steph's lived here, basically her entire life. And she came over by boat from South Africa. And then the other elephant, or most of the other elephants that you see here, came from Swaziland or Eswatini, it is now known as, and they came over on a big jet in a crate, in multiple crates they came over in, and they flew here from Eswatini. And we actually have a crate, if you guys have ever been to the zoo, down by our elephant barn. You guys can see that too next time you guys are out at the zoo. And our last elephant, Callie, was actually born here, or born in the United States. And he was born at Pittsburgh Zoo. So he's kind of traveled around by crate and truck to the many different zoos that he's been at for breeding purposes.
So we do have a question from an audience member up in Atwood, Kansas. They want to know, how much can a tusk weigh?
How much can a tusk weigh? It depends obviously on the big tuskers, that kind of stuff. But they could probably, if they're a big tusk, 10, 15 pounds if you're taking from the whole tusk, because the tusk goes all the way back up into the cheeks, behind the skin layer called a sulcus. So we only see part of that tusk. But our guys have very short tusks, so they're not going to weigh that much. And even when we trim tusks, we only trim like an inch or two off.
And then how big do they get? How big do elephants get?
Their actual size?
Yeah, their actual size. And like maybe how much they weigh?
Smallest female is about 4,900 pounds, and then our largest female is about 6,900 pounds.
So did you say 11,000 pounds?
I did say 11,000 pounds. Almost, yeah, he was 11,780 was his.
So almost 12,000 pounds. You know, it makes me think of the question, how much does like a semi truck weigh in comparison to, you know, like we see semi trucks all the time. So how much do they weigh compared to like what an elephant would weigh? 12,000 pounds. No wonder their scat, you call it scat, right? Their feces, their fecal matter is 60 pounds.
That's why they eat.
They eat all the time.
They're eating 14 to 16.
And then how long do their trunks get?
That kind of depends on the animals. There are thousands and thousands of muscles in that trunk. There's no bone or anything like that. So they can move those muscles to be able to pick something up or extend it out very far. I would say their reach can be up to 10 to 12 feet, depending on the elephant. So when we're moving around our barn, we have to be very aware of that and cautious of where they are, because they could reach out.
So how much food do they eat like in one day? Like if you could give us like maybe pounds. Do you have pounds?
Elephant versus our biggest elephant.
So we have another question. A young man from our audience wants to know, what are the elephant's predators in the wild?
Yeah, so predators in the wild are honestly us. We're the big ones. So humans, we have a lot of human elephant conflict in range countries for both African and Asian elephants. So, you know, they're hunting them for tusks, they're hunting them for skin. So all kinds of stuff like that we're worried about. And then also we have a lot of the human elephant conflict in farming. in the countries over there. So, if they're destroying their livelihood, a lot of times, they take it out on the elephants. Other than that, there aren't a lot of major predators like lions or anything like that, unless you have an elephant that's compromised or, sick or, dying anyway.
All right, guys, if you have any other questions, it looks like we have about just a couple more minutes left. You can put them in the chat and we can ask our zookeepers here while we still have them at our disposal. Anything else? Any fun facts? Anything that we can, anything else you can think of? What's the best part of working with elephants? Okay. Yes.
One of my favorite facts is elephants, they're wrinkly. It's a good thing because when they wallow, they're throwing mud and water on themselves to help protect their skin and cool off. Those wrinkles actually trap that moisture, that water in there, and that actually helps cool down the body. So being out in a hot temperature like in Africa, it helps them cool down their body temperature and keep them regulated so they're not getting overheated.
Wow, that is interesting. What about you, Jen? What's your favorite part of working with elephants?
I agree with Sarah. I think it's each personality. When you're training them to do all of these husbandry behaviors and things like that, you could start with one elephant and try to do something one way and then realize like another elephant was like, no, that way is not going to work for me. You're going to have to like go back to the drawing board.
You just pick them up.
Yeah, so you can't just like pick them up, move them anywhere. You really have to work with them, just like kids. Everybody learns differently. That's what we tell our guys. They each have their own personalities, just like all of us. So we really just try to work with them to better take care of them.
All right. So as we wrap it up, how many elephants did you say you have here?
We have 8 total, 6 females and 2 males.
Okay. Can you name them? Tell me, what are their names?
Yeah, we can. Talia, Zolani, Arusi, Zubiri, Titan, Steph, Callie, Zodiac.
All right, guys, let's give it up for Sarah and Jen over here at the elephant display. Thank you for all the information. That was so interesting, and we definitely appreciate you joining us today.